जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा
जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा
जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा
जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा
जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा
जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा
जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा
चैतन्य भागवत की जय।
जय
श्रील वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय।
जय
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय
समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय।
जय
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome. So to today's Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat reading. You remember what we were reading yesterday? We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat Antya Khanda, chapter 9, the glories of Advaita Acharya. We were reading actually Srivas Thakur, this was before. Srivas Thakur had asked Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to narrate the glories of Advaita Acharya, and then Mahaprabhu asked Srivas, can you tell me who's Advaita, what is his identity in the spiritual world? And then Srivas said, maybe I think he's like Sukadeva Goswami or Prahlad, and Mahaprabhu hit him. And then that whole pastime. And then he even picked up a stick to go and beat Srivas, but Advaita Acharya stopped him. And Mahaprabhu explained the glories of Advaita Acharya, how he is the Supreme Lord, he is Lord Narayan, and he is the one who called Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to come down to this earth, and that's why Mahaprabhu has come. So hearing all these glories, Srivas Thakur became very pleased, and he said, my Lord, so far I didn't know the glories, but now all of us also know by your mercy, and I, I feel I now after hearing this, I get so much respect for Advaita Acharya in my heart that uh, even if I see him in the wine shop, or I see him with a prostitute, a low class woman, I will still have the same respect for Advaita Acharya, like that. So in this way, Mahaprabhu is glorifying his devotees, and he glorified all other devotees also. He takes great pleasure in glorifying his devotees. Then uh, so how did we switch to the next topic? I'm just seeing the connection here. So the topic is that, because in this we see Mahaprabhu apparently acted harshly towards um, Srivas Thakur, isn't it? So Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying, even if you see a devotee acting harshly, you should actually see his behavior as the most eloquent words. What will happen if you don't see like that? You will stay in the cycle of repeated birth and death, life after life. So uh, don't criticize, or don't get angry, or don't judge a devotee based on his behavior, sometimes apparently harsh behavior. If you do it, then for birth after birth, you'll stay in the cycle of birth, in the material world. To explain this, he gives an example from Srimad Bhagavatam. How once upon a time, all the sages gathered together on the banks of river Saraswati to perform one yagya. What is that yagya? For the benefit of all people. Sages do this yagya from time to time. And what is the purpose of that yagya? What is the agenda? What is the objective this time? The objective was to find out who is the Supreme, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, or Lord Brahma. I mean, Lord Vishnu. So they all chose Bhrigumuni. Who is Bhrigumuni? Bhrigumuni is the fourth on the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Um, Now they said, first of all, when the debate started, debate meaning the discussion started, who is the supreme? Quoting Puranas only. Some said that Lord Brahma is the supreme, and others said no, Lord Shiva is the supreme, and someone else said no, Lord Vishnu is the supreme. So they were not able to arrive at any conclusion, and amongst within that assembly, amongst them was the most wise, the most learned personality, and the senior most also, the eldest. That was Bhrigumuni. So they asked Bhrigumuni, can you tell us, um, can you go and find out, not tell us, can you go and find out who is the Supreme? So Bhrigumuni left. Now his task, the way he did it was he went to test. So he went to first Lord Brahma. Who is Lord Brahma? Brahma is Bhrigumuni's father. Bhrigumuni is the mind-born son of Brahmaji. So when Bhrigumuni appeared on the scene in Lord Brahma's assembly, he decided to test. So Brahmaji, naturally, after seeing his son, he was very affectionate to his son, and he uh, greeted him, asked him how you are, and like that. And Bhrigumuni didn't say anything. He didn't greet his father, my dear father, please accept my obeisance. He didn't offer obeisances. He didn't glorify Brahmaji. He didn't offer any prayers to Brahmaji. This is audacity. So, seeing Bhrigumuni's disrespect, Brahmaji got anger, and he became angry, so angry, like fire, that he wanted to curse Bhrigumuni. Seeing Brahmaji's anger, it was visible. Bhrigumuni fled from there. Meanwhile, when Brahmaji was so angry, all the members of his assembly got hold of Brahmaji and said, my lord, what are you doing? This is your son, right? How can you curse him? So then Bhrigumuni, after, so he took his notes about Brahmaji. Now he went to next, Lord Shiva, Kailash. There in Kailash, now who is Lord Shiva? Lord Shiva is the elder brother of Bhrigu. First, the four Kumaras were born from Brahmaji. Then, when Kumaras were asked to procreate, because Brahmaji is a Prajapati, so he asked Kumaras to procreate. They said, no, we won't. Brahmaji became angry, and from his forehead, from that anger, Rudra was born. That's the birth of Lord Shiva. And after that, he gave birth to the Prajapatis. So therefore, Bhrigumuni is the younger brother of Lord Shiva. So Bhrigu went to Lord Shiva's Kailash. So as an elder brother, Lord Shiva greeted him and uh, with respect, and Bhrigu, and he even with great affection came forward to embrace his brother. And Bhrigu this time said, "Don't touch me. You are always associating with dirty people. Where in the scriptures does it say that you should apply ashes on your body? Hmm? And you like that, you stay in crematorium and all those things. Don't touch me." Lord Shiva became so angry. He picked up his trident and he was going to attack Bhrigu. Yeah, one thing to be noted is that Lord Shiva, Lord Bhrigu was only acting the whole time. So, because he because he was on a mission, his mission was to find out who is the eldest. I mean, who is the best, supreme, most supreme. So for that he was testing, but in reality, no blasphemy ever came to his on his tongue towards Lord Shiva. So then, when he picked up his trident, Goddess Parvati became nervous. She went and held the hand of Lord Shiva. She fell on his feet. She said, "My Lord, please calm down, calm down. You know, he's a Brahmana. How can you attack a Brahmana? He's your brother." And Lord Shiva felt so ashamed. What was I going to do? Bhrigu fled from there also. And then finally he arrived at Vaikuntha. And in Vaikuntha, he saw one second. In Vaikuntha, he saw that Lord Shiva is reclined, I mean, Lord Vishnu is reclined nicely on a couch, and Goddess Lakshmi is massaging his feet. And Bhrigu came and kicked on the chest of Lord Vishnu. You see how the degree, the intensity of offense is increasing from Lord Brahma to Lord Shiva. Lord Brahma, it was mental, right? Verbally, he didn't make any offense. He just didn't offer obeisances, right? It was very subtle. The next thing, Lord Shiva, verbally he said, "You are this and you are that, don't touch me like that." Lord Vishnu, the offense was physical. He actually went and kicked in the chest of Lord Vishnu. And what was Lord Vishnu's response? Lord Vishnu was immediately he got up and with great affection, you know, he received, with great affection, with great joy, he received Bhrigu. He said, "I'm so sorry. I didn't see that you were coming. This is my fault. Please forgive me. Please take your seat." And he started, like when you greet a Brahmana, you're supposed to wash their feet. So he sat down, washed the feet of Bhrigu, and then he gave him his own throne, made him sit on the throne like this. And seeing this, seeing the so the point was, who is the greatest person here? One who is able to tolerate, not just tolerate, but completely be unaffected by any type of honor, dishonor, or anything. He saw this in Lord Vishnu. How much love, how much affection he has. So, seeing this, Bhrigu went into ecstasy. He started dancing, crying, weeping, trembling, falling down, singing, loudly roaring. All symptoms of ecstasy were on his body because he could see. So, of course, in Chaitanya Bhagavat, uh, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur says Krishna. He doesn't say Lord Vishnu. He says Krishna. So Krishna is the supreme. How wonderful is Krishna? How merciful is Krishna? Nobody is like Krishna, like this. He started dancing there. That's where we stopped yesterday. And then I'll read the next page.
Yeah, yesterday I just wanted to also share that this also similar thing was in Four Kumara's incident
Ah,
where they cursed. So Lord Vishnu was accepting the fault of his
Very nice, Mataji. Nice. Yeah. Who wouldn't want to be around such a person? So, yeah. Of course, one more thing that we have to remember here is whatever Brigu did, his actions were not ordinary, right? Uh, the offenses that he did, the harsh activities of a Vaishnava, so that's not, so someone, a third person, if you or me saw Brigumuni kicking Lord Vishnu, what would you say? What kind of a person is this? You would probably take offense. I don't know. I'm just saying. Now, that's why don't judge, don't criticize a Vaishnava because you don't know the purpose behind that and you don't know the love he has. Now, look at the love he has. Brigu gazed and gazed at the Supreme Lord, filled with the nectar of pure devotion. He began to dance. He laughed, trembled, perspired, fainted, and roared. The hairs of his body stood erect. Brahma's son, Brigu, was plunged in the nectar of pure devotion. So I was only, or somebody will only see that he kicked the Lord, right? But and also further, how sweet the Lord is. I mean, he's saying, uh, I did not know you were coming. And he's saying, the water that washes your feet, O Brigumuni, that water is what is making holy places holy. Now you gave that water which washed your lotus feet to me. By that you have purified me, not just me, because within me all the universes, all the demigods are there. You have purified everyone by giving your foot wash to me. I sprinkled it on my head. By this you purified everyone. And also I'm so happy. Now I have that, not your footprint, the dust from your footprint is on my chest. I have a proper place to keep Lakshmi Devi. Lakshmi Devi is very dear to the Supreme Lord. Uh, in other places also we will see that, just to say how dear his devotees are, the Lord says, no one is more dear to me, not even Lakshmi, not even Anantasesh, no, not even Lord Brahma, Shiva, Lakshmi or Anantasesh. Because these personalities are very dear to him. So, therefore, the Lord is saying, imagine He's saying, now I have a wonderful place for Lakshmi ji on my chest, Srivatsa. The place where the dust of your footprint is there. Now I have a, I have a wonderful gift to give my wife, like that. I have a wonderful place for Lakshmi ji. So, seeing this, uh, the Lord, Bhrigu saw that the Lord was beyond all lust, anger, greed, illusion. He became filled with wonder and then he became embarrassed about his own activities and he was looking at the Lord and then he went into ecstasy and started dancing. So you see, both, don't judge Bhrigu's actions and just see how much love he has. So don't act on impulse right away, right? Just wait and then you will see what is the glory of that Vaishnava, like that. So he said, Bhrigu is saying, Krishna is the Lord of all. He is the life of all. Speaking these truths, Bhrigu Muni danced, seeing Lord Krishna's peacefulness and humbleness. Who would not attain ecstatic love and devotion for him? If you were to, if you come in the association of such a person, who will not love such a person? He is the most lovable person, Krishna. Bhrigumuni was stunned with ecstatic devotion. No words came to his mouth. A stream of joyful tears flowed from his eyes. On his body were all the symptoms of ecstatic love for Lord Krishna. Bhrigumuni finally returned to the assembly of sages. So all this happened in Vaikuntha. Now he came back with his conclusion. What was his final conclusion? Who is the supreme? With that, he came back to the banks of Saraswati, to the assembly of sages. Returned to the assembly of sages. Seeing Bhrigu, the sages became joyful without limit. They said, Bhrigu, tell us, whom did you see? What did they do? Tell us who is the best. Then Bhrigu spoke to them. To all of them, Bhrigu described the actions of Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu. Whatever happened. What happened with Brahma, what happened with Lord Shiva, what happened with Lord Vishnu. He said, Lord Narayan, the king of Vaikuntha, is the best of all. That is the truth. It is the truth. It is the truth. This I tell you 3 times, right? When you say anything 3 times means you're really uh, emphasizing it. What is that truth? Lord Narayana of Vaikuntha, he is the best of all. Lord Krishna is the master of everyone. He is the father of everyone. Brahma and Shiva obtain their authority from him. Lord Narayan is the creator, maintainer, and destroyer of all. Therefore, without doubting, please worship his feet. Religion, knowledge, good reputation, opulence, and renunciation all come from his potencies. Everything belongs to Lord Krishna. Please know this without doubt. Therefore, please worship Lord Krishna and sing his glories. Lord Chaitanya, my question is, anyway, this is just my personal question. What is more, I mean, if there's a tie between the two, of worshipping Lord Krishna and singing his glories, which should be chosen? That's my personal question. Anyway, everything belongs to Lord
What
Krishna.
is the question?
My personal question.
Yeah.
I've been looking for this answer. Please know this without doubt. Here, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying, or Briguni is saying, everything belongs to Lord Krishna. Therefore, please worship Lord Krishna. So when I heard this part, please worship Lord Krishna, I thought, oh, I got my answer. Hmm? Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying, Krishna is telling me, worship me. So please worship Lord Krishna. And then the next word is, and sing his glories. So I have a tie between the two. Which one should I do? Worship Krishna or sing his glories? If there is a tie, which one should be chosen? So both are said. So don't know. Let's see. Worship Lord Krishna and sing his glories. I'm saying if you have
While
only
worshipping, sing his glories. Kirtan
ah
glories, no?
yeah. But let's say now I'm singing also, right? I
Yes.
cannot do these two together. I cannot be worshipping and speaking at the same time here. That's
Yes.
my point.
Yes. But
Anyway,
isn't it said worshipping? It's everything is transcendental. Any
of
activity we
course,
do, any
of
devotion
course, all
we
this
do,
is, it's not,
is
yeah,
same.
it's not, yeah, it is, no, no doubt.
So there
But
is no distinction. I mean,
yeah, there is,
yeah. If you are singing the glories, if you are preaching, that is equal to worshipping also.
yeah, there's no doubt about this being Krishna conscious or not. This is completely Krishna conscious. This is completely devotional service, of course. But what is it that Krishna wants me to do? He wants me to sing or he wants me to worship is the question.
Sing because by preaching you are making more devotees. So
Others are also involved. Yeah,
yes, so then that is more dear to Krishna when we are helping others, right? So I think that way.
okay. That point also noted. So therefore, please worship Lord Krishna and sing his glories. Lord Chaitanya is Lord Krishna himself. Krishna who now enjoys pastimes of Sankirtan. So see, Krishna is the supreme. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the same Krishna whom we are supposed to worship, whose glories we are supposed to sing. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the same Krishna who now enjoys pastimes of Sankirtan. Hearing Brigu's words, the sages became free of all doubts. Hearing Brigu's words, the sages became free of all doubts. They agreed, Narayan is the best of all. The sages worshipped Brigumuni. They said, you cut our doubts into pieces. You made our hearts auspicious and pure. They made their hearts firm in devotion to Lord Krishna. Thinking them true devotees of Lord Krishna, thinking them true devotees of Lord Krishna, they honored Brahma and Shiva. Yeah, actually, here, it's not that Brahma, we hear this when we hear this pastime. In Srimad Bhagavatam, this pastime comes. There we see even Lord Brahma and Shiva are not ordinary. They are not ordinary people. They are very, very exalted. And the reason that they acted like that is because they also wanted to glorify Lord Vishnu. That's why they became angry. Uh-huh. So that's also there, because they certainly know that Lord Vishnu is the supreme, and here so they are assisting Bhrigu in coming to the right conclusion. So therefore, they also acted like that, like they are not less important, or they are not any ordinary personalities. They were true devotees of Lord Krishna. That's why to glorify Krishna, like Bhishma Dev. He was on the side of Adharma. Why? To help Krishna in his mission. This is a devotee, a true devotee. He doesn't care how he will be, minimized, or he will be seen as, this is going to be in the scripture eternally. They don't mind. So they're true devotees. So all these sages thinking Brahma and Shiva to be also true devotees of Krishna, of course, not competitors, not equals, what to speak of being superiors. They are devotees of Lord Krishna. They honored Brahma and Shiva. Therefore, I say, who has the power to understand the sometimes harsh actions of perfect Vaishnavas? So, coming back to this point, why we discuss this whole pastime of Bhrigu Muni going to Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva? To drive this point through, that one does not have the capacity to understand the harsh actions of perfect Vaishnavas. Now, neophyte Vaishnavas are Vaishnavas. So, therefore, we should say aspiring Vaishnavas, those who are aspiring to be Vaishnavas, right? It should be all of us. Those who are still aspiring to be Vaishnavas, they should not imitate the actions of great persons. Now you start be acting harshly to people, and then you say, I'm a Vaishnava, and you expect that they should understand. We cannot do that. These are perfect Vaishnavas, perfected Vaishnavas, their behavior. We are talking about them. Who has the power to understand the sometimes harsh actions of perfect Vaishnavas? Bhrigu Muni's actions were only a test. They were not anything but that. That is why he kicked the Lord. Why was the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the creator of the worlds, merciful even after Bhrigu Muni kicked his chest? The actions of very elevated persons cannot be understood or copied by ordinary persons. That is the only conclusion. I see no other. He is the Supreme Lord. Does he not know the heart of Bhrigu Muni? Why he is kicking? Huh? So he knows who is who. So those who are very elevated persons, you cannot understand their activities. Certainly you cannot copy them. That's the conclusion. The root of all this is that Lord Krishna himself entered the body of Bhrigu Muni and arranged all these activities to reveal the great glory of devotional service. Bhrigu himself did not know in advance what was to happen, right? He didn't know that Brahmaji is going to be like this, let me test him. No, he didn't know anything. He was inspired. When he went there, he was just inspired to act in a certain way in front of Brahmaji, in another way in front of Shiva, in another way in front of Lord Vishnu. Who made him do all this? The Lord in the heart, Krishna himself made him do it. Prabhu himself did not know in advance what was to happen. By arranging these actions, Lord Krishna revealed the glory of both himself and his devotees. Here comes the point. In order to reveal the glory of Lord Krishna, Brahma and Shiva became angry with Bhrigu and made him afraid. See, everyone is wonderful in this pastime. Bhrigu Muni is wonderful, Brahma is wonderful, Shiva is wonderful, Lord Vishnu, everyone is wonderful. Each one played his role perfectly, with the, giving us the conclusion that the Supreme Lord, Lord Vishnu, is the most, is the best. So, Lord Brahma and Shiva also got angry, simply to reveal the glory of Lord Krishna. Thus, the devotees always sing Lord Krishna's glories. And Lord Krishna even more earnestly praises his devotees' glories. Anyone who, not understanding his actions, criticizes an elevated Vaishnava will not be delivered. An elevated Vaishnava sometimes acts in a way superficially, like the actions of lowly people. Anyone who, by Lord Krishna's mercy, has the power to understand an elevated Vaishnava's actions will end all his troubles. He will become delivered. In this situation, I see only one way a person can save himself from danger. One should humbly glorify every Vaishnava. I was just thinking about this. What if you don't understand, right? If you are able to understand, there's an elevated Vaishnava acting in a lowly manner, let's say, if you're able to understand, oh, this is a great Vaishnava, there must be some reason. And if you're able to understand, that means you got the blessings of Krishna. You're able to see that you're delivered, happy, no problem. But if you're not able to see, now you heard this pastime and you know you're not supposed to do this, and you see a Vaishnava doing like this, or you don't even know if he's a perfected Vaishnava or not. It may be some. What should you do? You should respect every Vaishnava, every person, regardless of who he
Not
is.
interfere.
Yes, unless you are particularly assigned that service of you know correcting that person or protecting the devotee community. If there is some harm being done by that person's behavior to the whole devotee community, first best thing is you should bring it to the notice of a person who is in charge, who is responsible for the protection, just like Kshatriyas have the right to kill. So if you see something bad going on, can you just go and kill that person? No, you have to bring it to the notice of the police, of the Kshatriya, and the Kshatriya will take action, isn't it? Similarly, if you see some Vaishnava is doing something which you don't understand and which is abominable, and this is setting a very bad example, uh, you can bring it to the notice without any malice in your heart, not adding any masala to it and trying to portray that you see this person not like that, but you just bring it to the notice of a trustworthy authority who also is free from malice. Not that that person will take advantage of this, oh, now I got a weakness of the other person, let's see how I'm going to you know spoil his name now. Somebody who is a proper Vaishnava, right? Bring it to their notice for the sake of protection. That's all. But for yourself, if you see something like this, you should still offer respects from a distance, and in your heart never think bad. This is what you should remember. This is Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur telling us. Why? Then you're on a safe side. In this situation, I see only one way a person can save himself from danger, right? If you see somebody acting in a lowly way, there's only one thing you can do to save yourself from danger. One should humbly glorify every Vaishnava. Glorify. Say good things about any Vaishnava. Never say anything bad. And if you're not able to say anything good, don't say anything at all. Right? But try to glorify every Vaishnava. You can even glorify like, oh, he puts a nice tilak. That's a glorification too. There you don't have to say anything else. Right? Anything, find something nice. This is actually a good practice. A person who does not understand all this should take shelter of Lord Krishna. And if you're not able to understand, just take shelter of Krishna and carefully hear the explanations of great devotees. Here again, that's how we will know how we should act. Then Lord Krishna will give him spiritual intelligence. He will attain Lord Krishna. Nothing will stop him. Anyone who devotedly hears these pastimes of Lord Chaitanya will easily attain liberation. The two moons, Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Sri Nityananda, are my life and soul. I, Vrindavan Das, sing the glories of their feet. So with that, we come to the conclusion of the chapter, the glories of Sri Advaita. And then, this is the last chapter of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. We will decide after we complete this chapter, which may take another week or two, what we will read next, if we will just repeat Chaitanya Bhagavat again or what, we will figure out. I don't have any plans yet. But the next one is the last chapter of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. And one more, oh, it's time already, my God. But one more thing is that I noticed. This pastime is towards the end of Chaitanya Bhagavat. In Srimad Bhagavatam also, towards the end of Srimad Bhagavatam, end of 10th canto specifically, or towards the end of Krishna book, you find this pastime of Bhrigu Muni. Just like towards the end of Chaitanya Bhagavat, you're finding this pastime. In Krishna book also towards the end, you find this pastime. That's a parallel. Let me end here. I also already missed 15 minutes. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank you very
Mataji.
much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Srila
Hare Krishna
Vrindavan Das
Mataji.
Thakur.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Srila
Mataji. Hare
Prabhupada ki
Krishna.
jai.